Hey Internet, this is Clifford. Now, are you kind and caring and benevolent? Well, you better not take an econ class. Several studies claim that learning economics actually makes you greedy, narcissistic, and selfish. Adam Smith, the founder of modern economics, famously wrote, "It is not from the benevolence of the butcher, the brewer, or the baker that we expect our dinner, but from the regard to their own interest." In other words, producers aren't interested in your happiness, they're interested in your money. They don't love you, they love themselves.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
For better or for worse, this is a fundamental assumption of modern economics. The idea of rational self-interest is in every textbook, and it's used to predict human behavior. But is it realistic? Many people accuse economists of oversimplifying human motivation, and they say that economics actually studies a mythical species. Homo economicus, or economic man, is cold, logical, calculating, and above all, self-interested. But in real life, humans are often emotional and irrational and willing to help others at the expense of themselves. But some say that it's the belief in Homo economicus that is the real problem. Since economics assumes that people are self-interested, students that study economics assume that's how they should act. In other words, they say that studying economics makes you selfish, and there's actually evidence to prove their point. I put several articles in the description, so take a look at them and let me know what you think in the comments below. But since we're here, let's talk about a few of them. One study found that students that took more economics classes were more likely than their peers to consider greed good, correct, and moral. Another study analyzed the charitable donations of professors, and they found that economics professors gave less to charity than professors in other fields like history, philosophy, and biology. And economics professors tend to be more fiscally conservative than other professors in other disciplines, which makes them more likely to oppose policies like increasing the minimum wage or expanding welfare programs. Of course, no one wants to be selfish, but before you stop watching my econ videos and drop your econ classes, let's talk about each one of these findings. First, thinking that greed is good and moral is clearly a problem, but it kind of depends on the definition of greed. Is it the idea that you're willing to lie and cheat and steal to get what you want? Or does it mean something else? For example, what if you knew that your boss was underpaying you? Would it be greedy to demand a higher wage? Now, how about if a business discovered they can make more profit by charging higher prices? Is it greedy if they raise those prices? Many people might see the first example with the worker as moral, but the business raising prices as being greedy. But they're doing the exact same thing. In both cases, they're seeking their own self-interest, and some people might call that being greedy, but economists know better. Think of it this way: if you're driving in traffic and another lane starts moving faster than yours, is it immoral or greedy to switch lanes? No, you're just acting in your own self-interest. What would be greedy is driving on the shoulder illegally to get around traffic. That's not self-interested, that's being selfish. So demanding a higher wage or raising the prices of your product is not being greedy, but lying on your resume or falsely advertising your products, well, that is being greedy. And that's important to keep in mind because economists assume that everyone is self-interested. That doesn't mean the same as being selfish.
Logical.
The point here is that maybe the reason why economics students are more comfortable with greed is because they have a different definition.
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
Okay, but what about the second one? What about economics professors that give less to charity? That one seems pretty straightforward. Not exactly. Perhaps economists aren't really less charitable, but rather they're more aware of the inefficiencies of giving to charity. After all, many charities have huge overhead costs, and some, like the American Red Cross, have been accused of wasting hundreds of millions of dollars of donations. And believe it or not, in some cases, charitable donations actually make things worse.
The Indian Ocean tsunami, 2004. A beach in Indonesia piled with used clothing. There's no time for disaster workers to sort and clean old clothes, so the contributions just sit and rot.
To be clear, I'm not saying that charities are all bad or justifying the actions of cold-hearted professors that refuse to help people. I'm just pointing out there might be other reasons for this behavior other than just economics makes you selfish. And what about that last one, the fact that economics professors, and in many cases their students, tend to be more conservative than those in other disciplines? Now, it could be a chicken and egg scenario. Are conservatives attracted to economics, or does economics make you more conservative? Now, either way, Greg Mankiw, a Harvard economist, gave several reasons for this phenomenon, including this one. Students start off with a utopian view of public policy where a benevolent government can fix all problems. Once you recognize that there's a trade-off between equality and efficiency, many public policy decisions become harder. Now, I'm not trying to sway your political persuasion one way or the other, but I personally think it's great that economics departments have more diversity of thought. After all, in the US, the ratio of liberal professors to conservative professors is on average 6 to 1, and in some parts of the country as high as 28 to 1. In a field that's as far-reaching and as important to society as economics, it's essential that as many ideas as possible are freely expressed and critiqued. But that's just my opinion, so tell me what you think in the comments below, and let me know if you think studying economics makes you selfish. The evidence is compelling, and maybe if I didn't take so many economics classes, I'd be a better husband, father, friend, and citizen. Maybe I'd be more compassionate and considerate and kind, but maybe not. And it turns out that's the biggest problem with economics and economic policy. Once a specific course of action is taken, it's hard to know for sure what life would be like if you made a different choice instead. But even if it's true that economics hardens your heart just a little bit, I still encourage you to learn economics, because in the words of economist Murray Rothbard, it is no crime to be ignorant of economics, but it is totally irresponsible to have a loud and vociferous opinion on economic subjects while remaining in the state of ignorance. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you think economics makes you more selfish. Also, let me know if you like this format. Instead of being in front of the green screen, I'm here inside my office. So if you like this better, if you like the fact I'm talking about economic concepts or related things that aren't like in the textbook, that's awesome too. Let me know if this works for you. If not, I'll keep making videos that'll help you pass your test. But let me know what you think, and thanks for watching. Till next time.